Hey everybody, Karen from Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we are continuing with a conversation answering your questions about spiritual protection. All right. So I've already done 2 episodes, and because it took that long to answer all the questions you guys had, this one is specifically about spiritual interference, from energies and discernment. So that's how your questions that you guys are asking about spiritual protection has been grouped together. Okay. And the question is, are we interpreting spiritual interference from like outside energies that kind of come into our own energy fields? Are we interpreting that correctly? All right. So I will give you a paragraph of exactly what we're going to be talking about. All right, are you ready? And then I'm going to say the prayer, and then I have 33 questions. I have a feeling if they're as detailed as the first set of questions you guys had, I may have to break it up into 2 different episodes, which is fine. We'll just continue the conversation tomorrow. And then I will continue to grab your questions from these episodes to see if you have additional questions, so that we might have a few more conversations about it. So today your questions are going to answer the lead team. Okay, the lead team collective is going to answer about trickster energy, spiritual attacks, lower vibrational beings, misleading guidance that we may be getting from, and I don't know, misleading may sound a little negative, but it's just what kind of guidance are we getting outside of ourselves is really the question. And is that the guidance that we should be listening to, even the guidance here? So one of the reasons I listen to spiritual conversations is so that I can take in what I feel is best for me, and then I let the rest of it go. That doesn't mean every single person that I listen to, I'm grabbing onto everything they say. That's not really the point, right? And I don't want you doing that, obviously, here as well. What I enjoy about this community is that we are all sharing our own experiences with love and kindness, and watching each other grow and change and discover different things, and understanding that your perspective is your perspective and it's what your inner guidance is telling you to do, and understanding with love and love and kindness that my guidance is telling me to do something else. And I think that's really, for me, the biggest discernment in this spiritual communities, which is why I do have, I struggle with people who say, this is the way, this is the only way to look at something, So hopefully you never hear me talking like that. It's the only way I look at it, but that doesn't mean that's the only way. So there's some questions about discernment, pendulums, which will be interesting because I use one, meditation experiences, ancestral trauma, fear, and the challenge of knowing what is actually happening during unusual spiritual experiences. Okay, so those are kind of an overview of what your questions are going to get to today. Before we get started, I have just a couple announcements. One, you might have noticed some little pop-ups. There'll be one here, probably right now. I'll put it up right now. So we are just having a little fun, and we are using a Star Trek theme because, we've been exploring beings outside of ourselves, and what did Star Trek do? That's exactly what they did. And our fun goal is to get to it. If we get to it and we don't, it's totally okay with me. I just thought it would be fun to work as a community to bring the community up to 100K subscribers. Let's see if we can get the plaque, you guys. Let's just see if we can get the plaque. And it's going to take a community effort. It really is, because you guys are actually the ones who drive that. So the little teasers that we have is just encouraging you, to remind you to like the video, subscribe, share it, hype it is actually a really helpful thing too. So anyways, you're going to see little teasers, and it's just to have a little fun. Our goal is to have parties, live parties with some prizes. So we are picking out people in the community, and our plan is to, around when we get to 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, to have a live party where we'll just celebrate each other. Okay. And then at the end of today's video, I like to share something personal that I'm doing. I'm going to show you, I've done this before, but I'm going to show you how I'm back to making my own yogurt again. And the reason I thought, and I just have a new batch out, and I thought, well, I'll show you, because actually the yogurt maker that I use, and I love it, I want to show you how it works, is on sale during Prime right now. So I thought, well, and it's actually $10 cheaper than when I bought it on sale on Prime, which is kind of unusual. I'm surprised the price is cheaper right now. So anyways, I'm going to show you my yogurt setup. And it turns out so good, you guys. If you like yogurt at all, this is the way, in my opinion, to do it. And you get to control the ingredients, which is amazing. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and I will say the prayer, and then we will get to your questions. All right. I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the lead team collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hey, lead team. Thank you so much for being here and partnering with us as always. So I do need to do the Law of Challenge today. I'm just going to do it live with you guys real quick. In the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Yes. In the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Yes. And in the name of Christ, are you of the highest and purest light? Yes. Even this, what I'm doing here, is exactly what we've been talking about in the last, it's like, is that even necessary? So you guys, lead team, is the Law of Challenge, is it important to do more than one time ever? Okay, they're saying no. Okay, is important the wrong word? Is it useful to do on a regular basis? Does it provide some type of, yes. And does that, as we've been talking about, have more to do with our confidence level in knowing we are talking to high vibration spirits? Yes. Okay. So I did the Law of Challenge once, and one time I was told no on the third ask. That, and I do have videos on the Law of Challenge. You can just go to the video. You can go to, search on the channel. Can't find the words, and search Law of Challenge, and you'll get videos just on that. So I did that once, and I did get a no, and we got that corrected. Do I ever have to do that again with you? No. Okay, you have to let me know what you guys think about that. See, I'm skeptical of that, because, I'm skeptical. They're saying, yes, you are skeptical. Do I have to do it because I am skeptical? Yes. Okay, because then I'm attracting. So it really has to do with how well we attract higher energy versus lower energy. Yes. Okay. So the higher we go in vibration and ascension, the less there is a need to clear the negative energies. Am I understanding that correctly? Yes. Okay. All right. You guys, I'm really starting to get that. That's why it's so individual. That's why there's no, this is the way you do it every single time, because it depends on the energy that you're vibrating. So I find that fascinating. So I'm not saying that's right. It's just what I'm picking up on and is feeling right for me at this time. So let me know what you think about that. Okay, so lead team, can trickster energy bypass? They're already saying yes. How do you guys know what my question is? Can trickster energy bypass common protection prayers and techniques? So the word is can it. All right. So you guys are going to have to ask questions like, well, what to do about that? Because nothing's coming to my brain for follow-up questions on that. So trickster energy can is the word, bypass common protection prayers and techniques. Okay, so let me ask, I guess I just got one. So the law of challenge technique that I just used. Yes. Can trickster energy bypass that law of challenge? Okay, so this is where the clarification comes in. No. So trickster energy can bypass certain protection prayers. Yes. But not all. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So there are certain protection prayers and techniques that trickster energy cannot bypass. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Is the law of challenge one of those? Yes. So you guys are answering you're not convincing me that your answers, their energy is like, okay. I don't know why their energy is so schluffing, lazy, should I say, around that. Okay, so it may be because there's a slight variation to it that I'm not picking up. So again, you guys can help clarify and I will pull comments, okay, we'll probably be having a part 4 and 5 on this because I think this is kind of an important series. All right. I will post the first part 1 and part 2 right here. I don't know that we have them labeled as part 1 and part 2. So the first video of this little series, I will put at the end of this video right here. Okay. And the second one, if you haven't listened to it, I'll put right there. Okay. Can a person accurately distinguish between trickster energy and spirit guides? So again, the word is can. So of course they can. Am I accurately distinguishing between trickster energies and spirit guides? Yes. Would you say that trickster energy leaves you feeling off? Whatever off means, yes. Because if it's an energy, it's leaving some kind of energy for you. Would you say spirit guide energy ever leaves you feeling off? You guys know what I mean by off, just like, not feeling 100%. So they're saying no, spirit guide energy will never leave you feeling that way. So if we trust, if I feel super excited about something and then it's filled with doubts, might there be trickster energy around that? Yes. But if I feel super excited about something and it's not filled with doubts, is that more spirit guide guidance? Yes. And I think we kind of learn these things over time, obviously paying attention to that too. But I think you've been following your intuition since the day you were born, whether you knew it or not. Yes, which is why something makes you upset and doesn't make someone else upset because you're following your intuition on it, and there may be, I don't know if trickster energy is the right, trickster, let's just say lower vibration energy. So do lower vibration energies sometimes impersonate guides or angels? Yes. Okay. So how are we to know? Is it really have to do with how you feel? Is it really any more complicated than that? So they're saying yes to how you feel, no to more complicated than that. So, I know sometimes I get excited about an idea and then I'll sit on it for a couple days and then I'm not excited about it anymore. Does that mean sometimes a trickster energy can be, or lower vibrational energy can be playing a role to deter you from doing that? Yes. That's interesting. I know. You're not going to find out answers, I don't think. This is how I feel about this whole series. This is probably the most complicated series I've done out of all the year and a half that we've been doing this. So, yeah, I'm finding it quite intriguing for myself, but I just don't know how helpful it's going to be for people, especially who want clear-cut answers, right? So, I don't know. You guys will let me know. Are we receiving misleading information while believing we are communicating with our guides? Okay, yes and no. Okay, so we can receive misleading information. Yes. All right. Let me ask, does the astrology based on our birth chart sometimes offer, which again, we don't have to look at it as misleading information, but offers particular challenges to get us to strengthen our intuition? Yes. And could that be tied into your response regarding quote unquote misleading information? Yes. So is this whole thing, I want to keep it, I think it's simple and complicated. That's kind of how I feel. Am I right about that? Like, this feels really simple, but at the same time, really complicated. Yes. All right. So the simple part of this is follow how you feel. Yes. When you feel off or unsure, you look inside. Doesn't really matter if it's quote unquote misleading information or trickster energy. Do we trust that that's there to teach us something? Yes. So are we using the term trickster energy correctly? No. Is there ever trickster, the way humans use playing tricks on us? Is that a legit thing? Yes. Okay. Is it there for our highest and best? Okay, that's where it gets simple then. Yes. Is trickster energy there for not our highest best? No. Okay, so the trickster energy is playing an important role in our ascension. Yes, there we go. Okay, that's all I need to know. See, it doesn't need to be more complicated. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's all how we label things, isn't it? Okay, so if we hear voices during meditation, is that sometimes caused by trickster energy? Yes, but again, it's how we're defining this whole trickster energy. And again, these questions are coming from you guys, all right? So if we have a belief that there is trickster energy, again, creating your own reality, are we likely to experience trickster energy? Yes. If we go through life with believing that, not even understanding there is trickster energy and just believing that the best will always happen for us, Do we need to be concerned about this trickster energy? No. Do we have to just always question whether we're hearing it from you, our guides, or some other energies? No. Because overall, regardless of what happens, it is for our highest and best to teach us something. Yes. So if we're meditating and we hear voices, is that something you want us to follow? It's okay for us to follow the messages. Yes. Is it okay for us to follow the messages? Well, okay is not the right word, but would you want us following the messages if it made us feel off? No. Would you want us following the messages if it felt good? Yes. Even if the trickster energy and it made us feel good, should we follow the message? Yes. So this is where it's simple. It's just simple. You know? And if something feels off, as always, it's always best right now, especially with the ascension process, to clear. You know, in your relationships, my husband and I, this is retrograde. We're talking about some things in a more mature way than we've talked about them in the past, but it's still some things that we have dealt with in the past. Mercury retrograde gives you another opportunity to revisit some of those things. And we are actually revisiting it in a way that's a little bit more mature than we've done in the past. So that's cool. I mean, that's good. Even though it's annoying that we have to keep revisiting that. Well, it's Mercury retrograde. Oh, it's coming up. I think it's on the 29th or it's on the 26th. I don't know, but we're in the shadow regardless. So, yeah. So, I don't know. This is sitting well with me right now. I'm getting a little bit of clarity on this. I hope you are too. So, let's see. Can unwanted spiritual communication continue despite using protection prayers? No. Now, all of them, any protection prayer, I think I need some clarification on what is unwanted spiritual communication. So, again, just guidance, any kind of guidance that we're getting as, you know, downloads from the universe to consider, regardless of who's giving us those downloads. Well, we already answered that. So can it continue despite protection prayers? Yes. Can it continue if you do the law of challenge? No. See, this complicates it for me because if it's in our highest and best, are we getting in the way? If it's in our highest, yes. Okay. Are we getting in our way sometimes of getting messages that might be in our highest and best interest? Yes. And the question, I mean, the word was sometimes. So, you know, this is why it's complicated because, again, I just think there's so much black and so much gray depending on our own life experiences, our past lives, all that kind of stuff. Can pendulum work attract energies that do not have our best interests in mind? No. So does pendulum work attract energies that do not have our best interests in mind? No. Are you saying that because whatever comes across our paths is for our highest interest, our highest and best? Yes. Is it for us to continue learning discernment between love and fear, basically? Yes. Are you guys getting that like I am? It's really resonating with me. Is intention alone sufficient protection when engaging in spiritual practices? Yes. Is that your intention is love? So that's enough. That's sufficient protection because it's a higher vibration. Yes. If your intention is fear or doing nefarious things, is that sufficient protection? They're saying yes and no, because you're getting what you put out there. I mean, you're getting that. I mean, it's protection in that form, I guess. We'll protect the fear, the spiritual protection. Yeah, when we use the word protection, what are we talking about? Yesterday when we talked, we used the word alignment. Again, these are just the words that came in the community questions, so these are the ones we're answering. But so if you're aligned with fear, the alignment, the spiritual alignment is going to be fear-based. If you're aligned with love, so that's the intention. If the intention, right? So, again, this is probably, I'm not kidding you, this is probably the hardest one I've ever done. And we've had lots of conversations about this kind of stuff. And I'm like a year and a half of millions of questions, I feel like, further than I was a year and a half ago. And this is still complicated. But it doesn't have to be. It's pretty simple at the same time. All right, I'm going to ask a few more questions. I had a feeling this would go into part 4. So we will finish. I'll continue. You'll see me in this shirt. And I'll continue for another 30 minutes answering these questions. All right, let's just do a few extra. Can spiritual tools be used safely without additional protection practices? Yes, because of everything we just talked about in terms of intention. Yes. So if you're approaching, oh, it's starting to rain. If you're approaching the tool from fear energy, you might pick up some things that are not helpful. Yes. What if you're not approaching it and you just don't know? Like you don't even know that there is this sort of alternative energy out there. Does that matter? It's still your intention of love and fear. I asked a bunch of questions there. Okay, so does it matter if you're just like naive to the idea of there being negative energies? Does it matter? No. It's just, again, how you're vibrating in response. Yes. Okay, so there have been days where I have come and used the pendulum, kind of an off day, like not feeling 100%. Am I more likely to attract some of those negative, not negative, but just some energy that may be different than what I expect it to be? Yes. Okay. Would you say on those days it's probably more important to do the protection prayers? Yes, or at least the law of challenge? Yes. Are there other protection prayers that do guarantee like the law of challenge? Yes. Okay. I just don't know what they are. So if there's other ones you want me to verify, like, does this one work? Does this one work? We could ask, use your intuition though. If it feels good to you, then trust it. Just trust it. Just say, you know what? This one feels good to me. I'm creating my own reality. I like this one. It resonates with me. I'm using it. And I expect it to work. If we do that, is that enough? Yes, really wide swing. Really wide swing. So it doesn't matter what other people are using. But if it puts doubt, how people can put doubt in your brain, because you're like, say I love this shirt. And then somebody says, oh my God, that is the ugliest shirt I've ever seen. And then all of a sudden you can't wear it again because you're like, it puts doubt in you. It's the same thing. They shift the energy. But because I believed it, oh, it must be ugly because they said it was, this protection prayer must not work because someone said it didn't. So they put doubt around it. So then there's the energy, that damn energy. We are all energy. I am getting that. I am getting it. I'm getting it. We are vibrating beings. We need to protect that energy at all costs. At all costs, you guys. All right, so I'm stopping the questions. I'm going to, for those who don't want to hear about the yogurt, we will pick this conversation up again tomorrow. All right. So I did buy this machine and I have used it probably 10 times. I love it. All right. Now you can get, I will link it below. Like I said, it normally, I bought it for $69 and that was on sale. It's $61 right now. I think it's normally like $98 or something. So it works great. Now, what I do prefer the one that has the two, so you have an option. It comes with either 8 jars, 8 small jars, or 2 big. Okay, you have an option to choose. I have the one with the 2, and I'll show you what I mean by that. It's basically like a Pyrex, this size. That's what I prefer. But if you prefer to do them in those smaller, I don't know, it's kind of interesting to have the smaller jars because then you would just have enough yogurt for yourself. You know, if it's just you, then you would have enough because, you know, you could just eat right out of the jars then. So maybe the jars would be better. And I think you could, like, these are just Pyrex and that's, you know, basically that's what they look like. That standard Pyrex size, whatever this, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's what I use, but so I just made, and I'm going to show you how, I'm going to tell you how I do it real quick, but I just made this batch and it makes 2 of these. It cooks for 36 hours and at 100 degrees. Now, that is because of the probiotic that I'm using. That's the culture that I'm using. The only thing that gets complicated with this is different cultures need different cook time. So you want to look into that. Okay. I'm not going to get into that. But what happens, it's super creamy and it's not too tangy. Like I put a little sweetener in it. I'll use a little stevia, but like I could eat it right now. And it's not, I don't think I can eat store-bought. It's just not as, I mean, this one is super creamy. Now, it is because I am on probably my 5th batch of the culture I've been using. And that's what's beautiful about it is that you can continue to use the culture from the previous batch to make your new batch. So you just have to buy the culture once as long as you're going to keep it going. It's just like sourdough, if you've made sourdough bread, which I have not, but I am going to because I'm curious about how that all works. So I basically I started with this, and you might have heard about my rootery or what is it called? He calls it this. It's a particular doctor who makes it L-reuteri culture. Okay, so L-reuteri, I'll let you look that up, but you can look up this particular brand. You don't have to get this particular brand. He just has a lot of credibility around him, and hopefully it's not a scammy credibility. It's hard to know. I mean, I'm following my intuition on this for now. Because you know how people, you know how it is. You know how it is. So, so this is the bacteria is, and this is not medical advice, by the way. Yeah, so so he calls it my rootery. I don't know how to pronounce that, but so it's this right here, L-reuteri culture. Now this particular culture takes 36 hours at 100 degrees or 99 degrees, okay, to cultivate. So then what you do is, I got 2 of these, and when I'm down to towards the end, I just scoop a whole bunch, like this much, more than that. Like I'll just scoop a whole bunch. And then you mix it with inulin and then half and half. I use half and half from Costco. So it's an organic, I prefer to use 100% grass-fed, grass-finished, but I don't. I'm just, sometimes you just have to get something a little less expensive. So I've been using the one from Costco, and it makes these 2 huge bowls. And so you can make these 2 huge bowls for like, it doesn't even take both of the pints from Costco. So for like $3, you can make these 2 huge bowls for like $3, which is a lot less expensive for a really good probiotic. And then you know what's inside of it, which is kind of cool. Now, this doctor, and he is an MD. Again, I'm not suggesting you follow him or anything like that. I don't have an affiliate with him, okay? But he does have a book. I will link his book below, and I do have that book. And he goes over a whole bunch of other probiotics that I have and how long you would cook them for and what the purpose of them is. Like he talks about this Florister, pre and pro, like he has it in the book, like the different reasons and then how long you need to cook them for, because that does make a difference. And I've gotten a couple of these. I have not cooked them though. So this is Mood probiotic. I don't know what this one's used for. I just bought some of the ones that he recommended. And you can get these. He only sells this one, my Rootery. But, and again, I have 2 packs of this. I'm like, this is going to last me the rest of my life, because if you keep the culture going, you literally just need 1 pack. You need 1 pack. And if you keep the culture going the rest of your life, but I go on vacation and not want to have yogurt, so you might need a few extra packs. So I'm just loving this so much, and it's so tasty and creamy. Now, the one thing I will say, and then we'll wrap this up, is that when you make your first batch or 2, it won't be as creamy. So the first couple batches, it takes a little while, and then by your 3rd batch, you're like, oh my gosh, it's like butter. It just comes out like butter. So, yeah, so it's a really good way to control what you are getting. And then I have this, what you're getting for the probiotics, prebiotics. So then he also recommends this one in his book. What is this one? Daily Gut Balance helps regulate and maintain the health of the intestinal tract. So this particular one, that's in his book too. And again, he has a whole bunch of suggestions in his book that it's not like he's an affiliate for them. He just goes over all the ones that he thought were effective. And he's been studying this for a long time. So like I said, I will link his book below if you want to take a look. And then he'll tell you where to get, you can just go to this for his, I could link it below if you want me to. But I kind of don't want to, because I just don't want it to be medical advice. Well, I guess I'm linking the book. I guess I'll just link it. It's no big deal. Okay, so kind of fun. Thanks for letting me share. I like sharing my little experiments. I did this for a while. I shared this like a year ago, and then I kind of stopped making the yogurt, but now I'm really back into it. So it's kind of fun. As we've been thinking about what's going on in the world and just kind of being a little bit more self-sufficient. And I'm enjoying it. It's quite tasty. The way it's so creamy. I just put like some strawberries in there and a little sweetener and a little fiber, just extra fiber. I just put some fiber powder in there. It's like eating ice cream. It really is, because it's almost a little bit. The thickness is, after a couple of batches, is almost as thick as like Cold Stone ice cream. You know how thick that is? Or custard ice cream. So it's quite delicious. All right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope this conversation is helpful for you. I'm getting a lot of understandings around it. I don't know if they'll stick with me, but for me, I think the biggest understanding is just the vibrational. We're just vibrational beings, and that is really sticking with me. So in everything I'm doing, and thinking and whatever. So, all right, take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.